there, my beautiful pumpkins, and welcome to this reading. I'm so excited. I definitely have like a very lighthearted, silly energy going on right now. I feel like some of y'all guides that I have connected with have a silly, playful energy. So if not all of them, obviously, we're going to get into it, but you'll see what I mean when I give you the differentiators for these piles. But if you came here, this reading, basically, I believe it came to you by no accident. And this is to kind of help you understand your guides, figure out who they are. They could be ancestors, they could be angels. Guides come to us in a myriad of ways. So this is just to shed some light on those guides that have chosen to step forward today to communicate with us through the cards and communicate through me. So this might not even be every single guide that you have. I personally believe that all of us do have spiritual teams, and we are always appointed multiple. Sometimes those are past loved ones. Sometimes, like I said, they're angels. There's so much that goes into it. So we're going to get into that, see if we can connect with some of those beautiful beings. And I also want to see if they want to give us anything on why they specifically chose to be a guide for you. Like maybe what kind of things they're helping you through or what lessons they're trying to help you learn. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So if you enjoy this, if you like this style of reading, please let me know. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Many of you that come across my videos, I can tell from the analytics that you are not subscribed. I put out new pick a cards every single week. I also have a Patreon where I put out exclusive pick a cards every single week, and like monthlies. There's weekly energy updates. There's so much over there too if you want extra content. So definitely check out the description box down below for that. And if you already know how pick a cards work, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Now, if you need a differentiator, something to set the readings apart, I think y'all are going to get such a kick out of this, especially if you're gamers. I do have some things I'm going to put on these cards to help you decide. So we have Celeste from Animal Crossing as pile number 1. We have Isabel from Animal Crossing as pile number 2, and we have Reese from Animal Crossing as pile number 3. So those are not necessarily significant to your guides. Those are just to help you if you need help deciding. So maybe I'll try to lay these down so you can actually see them. But just to kind of help you if you need something, because some people, their psychic sense is through visuals. So I really do want to honor that for you. Someday I would love to do stuff for clairaudience, but I don't have any singing bowls, unfortunately. So if you know how pick a cards work, you can head to the timestamps. If you don't know, I always would encourage you to look for significant numbers in the timestamps, or to look at these if any of them call to you. Maybe you read the aura of cards. That's something that a lot of people do. That's why I do try to do a black or a white background always for you all, so that you're able to look at the aura if you need to. Or, just trusting your own divine intuition. Maybe there was something from the thumbnail that really captivated you to choose that way, but it's all up to you. Know that you're never going to choose wrong. If you feel called to multiple piles, you can also feel free to listen to multiples. Sometimes there's a message in 2 piles, or even all 3 piles have a message for you. So I'm going to go ahead and be quiet and give you some time to meditate with these cards, and then we will get into it. right, so pile number one, if you chose this, you would have chosen the Celeste figurine if you stayed for the figurine. So we're going to put that over here so you can see it. But if you chose this pile, first and foremost, I need you to know that your guides, you absolutely have angel guides. I definitely sensed a large feminine presence, like somebody that is very tall. This could even be like a Pleiadian starseed. You have a guide that is basically a giant woman. One of them is definitely like a very loving, divine. I shouldn't even say woman because I think that that can be misleading in and of itself, just because they give a feminine energy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like the way that we know man and woman on this planet with our human selves, it doesn't mean that that's how it is perceived where they are. So I do feel though that you have a very like large, divine, gentle, feminine guide. And they are someone that is here to help you build your authenticity. They are here to help you realize that it is okay for you to be yourself. We'll kind of get more into why your guides are here. These first four cards are just to tell you a little bit about your guides. I do feel like for some of you, your guides can come in the form of a black cat. So those of you that have black cats, this could also be like an earthly guide for you, someone that is here. Like I said in the beginning of the reading, many of us have entire spiritual teams. I believe actually all of us have spiritual teams. So these are just the ones that are choosing to step forward for this reading. So some of you do have a black cat that is a guide for you. And you would know, I feel like, if this cat definitely spends a lot of time around you. Maybe you even see it a lot outside if it's not a cat that you have. What Spirit is saying is that this cat is a protector for you. If this is a cat that you actually have, that you like spend time with, this cat actually heals you. If you didn't know this, cats actually purr at the healing frequency, and they can give like their own energy healing to us. So I feel that one of your guides is definitely a black cat. It could just be a cat, but black cats in particular. And it's a cat that hangs out around your house specifically. You also have a guide that, like, you have a lot of like angel guides, pile number one. And like I said, potentially starseed guides, because I'm getting a lot of like large energy. And I don't mean like large on the scheme of like weight. I mean that they're just very tall. Like, I also see a masculine figure that is cloaked that is very tall as well. And even like with this Two of Pentacles, this it looks like they're standing on this like gate right here, but this to me also symbolizes to us that, again, it's a very tall figure. So if you ever feel the presence of your guides and you feel like they are around you, but it feels like a very like tall, I don't even know if you've never experienced that. I feel like I'm going to sound like an insane person, but they're tall and they protect you a lot. Like, they are like, whenever you're feeling scared or uncertain or fearful, all you have to say is like, guides, can you please give me a little bit of protection? And I feel like they literally will stand around you consistently. Like, they will form sometimes a square, sometimes a triangle. So there's at least 3 to 4 of these like larger beings. And then with the Ace of Cups, I also feel like there might be a grandmother that many of you felt very attached to that is coming in as a guide for you as well. And again, they also have a cat. So that might be a telltale sign of like if your grandmother had a cat that either maybe you have now or the cat has also passed already. I'm hearing that many of you have a like grandmother in this lifetime that has chosen to guide you now that they have passed on. So definitely pay attention to that. This grandmother figure that is coming through, the reason that they, and we'll get into this more with the oracle cards, but the reason that they chose to stay with you has a lot to do with you closing a cycle for your family. Like, this might have been something that grandmother even participated in, but now they know better. And they don't want to watch you continue to make the same mistakes. as like previous generations in your family. And I'm not talking about like generational curses, potentially generational trauma, but I feel that this grandmother figure is here helping you to not make those same mistakes and to make your life an actual like created reality that you want to have. So a lot of large figures, a lot of large figures, one ancestor and a cat. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these oracle cards that we have for you. So hold on, I gotta situate these. I already put the oracle cards in like a pile. So first and foremost, I want to pull these. These are basically astrology cards that will help us to kind of uncover more about them. So we have the Numinous Mystery, and I'll show you the card in just a minute. I want to read it first. I'm blind. I wear glasses, so I need to have these cards in my face. The Unknown, the Unknowable, ESP, Psychic Abilities, the Cosmos, Universal Truth, Oneness, Source, the Aimable, Shadow Work, Inner Knowing, Tingling, Ghosts, Other Worlds, Space, Enigmas, the Occult, and Intuition. Ooh, I just got the chills. So you have maybe had an experience with one of these guides. Like you maybe are somebody that feels like, I don't want to say like you're haunted because that makes it sound like it's a bad thing, but you have maybe had paranormal experiences in your lifetime. And those experiences, they're not benevolent. They're not malefic. They are benevolent. They're actually your guides trying to get your attention. They're not here to hurt you. Now, I will say this, use your discernment with this because I feel like you can usually tell if there is a malefic spirit, like the energy of them is different and you can tell when something is not correct and you're not supposed to be there. But because it usually causes like a lot of fear and unrest. But when it's like benefic or a presence that is supposed to be there for you, usually there isn't a lot of fear involved. So you maybe have had encounters with them. Now, I also feel like for some of you, ancient Egypt might be really important for you and your guides and like connecting with those guides. Maybe you have like heritage that has come down through like ancient Egypt or especially this female guide that I keep seeing that's wanting to step forward. She, I feel like maybe even wants to encourage you to research more into like the ancient symbolism of Egypt. Like there's something in there for you. But ultimately, that's so fascinating. This is like these guides have tried to get your attention before. And I feel like maybe there's some of you that feel afraid of it because in this like modern age, I feel like a lot of us carry fear around the occult, around spirits. Maybe some of you were even afraid of tarot cards at one point. But ultimately, there's no, like, we put fear in them. There's nothing to actually be afraid of with these tools. It's always like the energy you bring to the table, if that makes sense. Like, if you sit down to read tarot cards and you're trying to summon demons, like, of course, like you're not going to have a good time, you know? But if you sit down with the intention that you're going to connect to your guides or your angels or your ancestors, you're going to have a totally different experience. So just, I guess like that almost comes as like a caution too, is like, be careful of like the energy that you're putting into like anytime you try to reach your guides. So we also have for you the card Chiron Healing, Healing Powers, Growth, Amends, Release, Personal Development, Inherited Issues. See, what did I tell you? I said generational trauma, self-doubt, generational trauma. It says that shame, insensitivity, forgiveness, superpowers, divinity, cleansing, softness, and pain. So, and especially because this is coming out under that card that really like immediately I heard the word grandma. So I'm not sure which side of your family this grandma would be on, like mom or dad's side, but, or dad and dad sides or mom and mom sides. But I'm not sure which side this grandmother is coming from, but there is definitely something there. Like you are somebody that is actually working to heal that ancestral line and like everything that this card just said, basically. So, and then I also asked your guides for a little bit of information on why they chose you specifically, like why they wanted to be around you specifically. So we have 3 cards to tell us about this. Actually, kind of 5 if you want to get technical. So we have She Who Radiates Geneva, which is knowing, ambition, and confidence. And we'll explain these after I lay them out. We have Jocelyn, She Who Persists, perspective, defiant, and persistent. And then we have She Who Begins, Primavera, launch, actualize, and potential. So literally, your guides chose you because you get shit done. You're somebody that follows through with what you say you're going to do. And you're someone that has the level of defiance. Like you, I feel like maybe are somebody that has an issue with like authority. You question it. You don't just take answers just because. And they like that about you. Like you're somebody that has a little bit more tenacity, a little bit more spice, if you will. And they know that you will carry forth beautiful things. So they were attracted to that energy initially of this person is going to go the distance. They do what they say they're going to do. And especially when it comes to challenging the status quo, I feel like you are somebody that does not just take things laying down and just is like, whatever. You're willing to fight back, even if that's in a gentle way. It doesn't have to be like ferocious. I don't know though. A lot of y'all, I feel like, also like to fight people. I'm hearing both sides. So some of you might take a gentler route or you might want to fight someone, but that is one of the biggest reasons your guides chose you, is because they really felt like this is somebody that is here to say something and do something and make change, and you're dedicated to it. So even if this is something you haven't come across yet in your life, I'm hearing from them, it's something that will, like, you are somebody that is the person to carry it through, and that's why they chose you. So we also have the card for you, Dolphin, and we have the card Fish, which I think is so interesting that you got 2 animal cards that are both like aquatic. Number one, you yourself might be a water sign, so you are like highly intelligent in terms of your emotions. But I also feel like for many of you with Fish and Dolphin, number one, dolphins are hella Palladian energy. This is why I said I think at least the female guide that we've talked about, I think she's a Palladian. She's like from the starseed of like Pleiades, because she fits the description. Like I can see her. She fits the description, and dolphins are hella Pleiadian energy. Like that is where that comes from. And I swear to God, if we pull the Pleiadian card after this, I'm going to lose my mind. But I feel like that is just communicating to you that you actually might have a starseed origin in Pleiades. Like you maybe are related to also this guide in particular that's really wants to like be with you, work with you, and help you in this lifetime. And maybe you have a strong connection to like water and aquatic life as well. Like I wouldn't be surprised if your favorite animal was some kind of an aquatic life. Like whether it's like an octopus or a whale or a jellyfish or something to that regard. But I do actually want to pull the book really quick on these 2 animal cards, just because I feel like Spirit is really saying like there's a deeper message than even we have decoded just now together. I feel like there's more, and I don't want to miss anything because I feel like this reading is very like, not only I feel like is it like serious, but I feel like the energy I'm holding right now is like, my heart is like expanding. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe y'all feel that way too. Okay, so we have Fish, restless, change of focus, lost in the current. Okay, This fish loves to This fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, 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 and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with your lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. So basically, I feel like your guides actually like that about you. You might be somebody that, I wonder if you have a lot of Gemini in your chart, because Geminis tend to be like this. And no, this is not shade. I actually love Geminis. As a Gemini moon myself, I'm a fan. Okay, I'm a fan. I have like the whole Gemini fan club. But Geminis tend to move from task to task really, really fast. And their mind works really fast. Like, they are the kind of person that they can do their homework and stuff or their work, but they need like the radio or the TV on in the background. And it doesn't actually distract them. It helps them get things done. Because their mind is so quick, it like needs more stimulation than like the average person that doesn't have major Gemini placements. And I feel like for you, your guides actually like this about you. They like that you can move from thing to thing really fast. They like that you tend to want to like roam around and know more. Like, you're very intellectual. I said that earlier, that it was an emotional intelligence, but I think you're also just like an intellectual in general, and you're very smart. Now with Dolphin, this is also about intelligence. It says innately intelligent, healer, light, and blessings. The gifts of the dolphins are beyond what our human minds can grasp. See, I knew it. I knew that there was something otherworldly about this reading, and that Pleiades was coming in strong because of that too. Like, I even said in the beginning of the reading that I was like, I don't want to say like male or female or man or woman, because I feel like our human concept of that is very different, because this is like otherworldly. As they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoying, and let me rephrase that. I'm not saying if you don't fall into like man or woman that you're otherworldly. Absolutely not. That is not what I meant by that. So please don't take it that way. I absolutely consider my channel a place that is like, I want to be here for the LBGTQ plus, like everybody that falls into that. So don't like, that wasn't me saying that there are only two categories, or that like if you don't fall into that, you're suddenly like otherworldly. I don't believe that. But just like our human mind sometimes will conceptualize, some people will conceptualize that like feminine energy as, oh, it must be female. And that's not necessarily the case. So, it's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. So you're somebody that's also here to make change, as we've talked about, and that's why they chose you. So we also have for you, I have just like a last few little bit of cards. And these are the cards that like, this is what your guides are here to help you with. So at least these guides that have shown up for us. We have for you Starseed, what lights you up. So first of all, to connect you back to your starseed origin. If you chose this pile, I feel like I have no doubt in my mind that you are a starseed. Like, you have come from, especially if you feel like you have a strong tie to Pleiades, or if you've never heard of that, definitely look into it. They came here to help you like wake up to your starseed origin. We also got no, postpone, pause, say no. I feel like many of you that chose this pile, you might be somebody that has a hard time just saying no without an explanation. And they're actually here to help empower you to feel safe enough. They give you a lot of safe energy. They are here to help you to like, basically really help empower you to say no like it is a complete sentence and not have to explain yourself. So that might be something that you're learning now, or you will be learning. And then we also have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So they're also here to help you amplify your psychic gifts. They're here to help you remember that you are light, that your vibration, whatever your vibration is at, is the reality that you will start to create. And it's in your best interest and the world's best interest that you continue to follow what lights you up and raise your vibration. You're also somebody that might dabble in divination yourself. Like maybe you read tarot cards or do book divination or pendulums or tea leaf reading, or like you're somebody that might be like a naturally gifted diviner, especially with getting that message of you are the oracle. So they are also here to help you like unlock your divine gifts. So I love this for you so much. I hope this helped you get a little bit more clarity on the guides that surround you and you feel more connected to them now. Ultimately, when I set the intention for this reading, that was all that I wanted, was like people that want to like know their guides more, please come through. So that's what I have for you thus far. And please do not forget, my beautiful pumpkin, when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. I do have my Patreon link down below if you want early access to readings, as well as exclusive readings over there, monthlies, things like that. We also do weekly energy updates, things that you can't get anywhere else. So definitely check it out. And I also have my Instagram, my TikTok, my podcast, which will be making a comeback in June. It's been on hiatus for a little bit. It will be coming back next month, so make sure that you follow that. And if you should choose to do so, it is never an expectation, but always, always appreciated. I have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal listed down below. I do accept tips for my readings, but again, it's not something that I feel like is like just you being here is plenty for me. But many of you do ask, so I always put that in here. And that is what I have for you, pile number one. I love you so much, and your guides are fabulous. Have a good time. Have a good time hanging out with them, because I feel like the energy I get from them is like, it's nice. Like I feel good right now. And when I connect with others, like sometimes the energy can shift depending on how they're feeling. So love that for us. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye. All right, pile number two, welcome in. This is going to be, who are your guides and why did they choose you? So right off the bat, looking at these first four cards. Oh, by the way, if you chose the Isabel figurine, that's you. But right off the bat, I feel like some of you, your guides were either a sibling that you have recently lost or lost within like, maybe even not recently. You could have lost them a while ago, but a sibling or a sibling from a past life as well. There is definitely a sibling that is no longer with you in like this earthly plane that is one of your guides. We also have the Emperor to me, which is telling us that this could be related to like a brother maybe that you've lost, or this could also be like a father figure, a grandfather or a father figure. Now with the Eight of Swords, I feel like this is so weird, pile number two, but your reading also is a little bit into your like past life. I've never done a past life like reading, I don't believe, on this channel, but maybe I did. I've thought about it, but I've never done it. And I feel like you are somebody that was like very persecuted for the things that you believed in a past life. And in this life, your guides are here to really help you overcome like a lack of self-belief. They're here to help you honestly own the person that you are and who you came here to be, because I feel like for some of you, like it was really bad. Like you were exiled from where like your family was. Maybe you didn't get to stay with your siblings. Or maybe you didn't get to like something about like the relationships you had, you were persecuted for them and also your beliefs. And so your guides are here to be like, no, this lifetime, we're doing it differently. We're going to be who we are. And it's funny too, pile number one had a bit of authenticity come out too. And then you also got the Lovers. So I feel like one of your guides is also either a lover that you've had in this lifetime that has already passed on, or somebody from a past life. Or this also could be a parental relationship as well. If any of you have lost like a father figure in your life, it doesn't have to be a biological father. This could be just like a father figure, or some of you also could have lost a twin. And that is who is coming through. So it's very, very family. Your guides definitely consist of a lot of past family members. They also could be a twin. I'm getting like a reading I feel like this is like a very specific person that is stepping through. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have multiple guides, but the one that is coming through for you, pile number two, now I'm getting a myriad of them for a bunch of different people. So this could fit like all the criteria, or it's like a mix of a few. So we have a sibling, a father figure, or a brother, and then potentially also somebody that is a twin or an actual lover, like twin flame relationship that you have lost. But I feel like this is definitely somebody that is deceased. Like this is somebody that was in your life either in a past life or in a current version of your life. They're somebody that has stuck around with you because they want better for you and they want to see you succeed. So really interesting, very family heavy on this one. Let's take a look at some of the oracle cards we have for you just to kind of suss out a little bit more of what they are about. So we have the first house of self, and I'm going to read this and then I'll lay it down for you so you can see it. We have physical body, outlook, self-image, life philosophy, consciousness, opinions, awakening, self-awareness, arrival, expression, gateway, and entry point. And then we also have the 10th house of reputation, career, responsibilities, achievement, competence, fame, notoriety, standing, authority figures, legacy, purpose, pinnacle, and the patriarchy. Oh, and empire. So again, I feel like we're dealing with a very like masculine presence. Now, what's interesting though is the sun. Did I say that this was the 3? This is the sun card. The sun to me gives me a very feminine energy, but the rest of the cards to me are very masculine. Like I'm feeling like a masculine presence at the moment. But I do feel like for some of you, this could have been like a sister as well. And with the first and the 10th house, I'm telling you, those of you that have like had a twin, this pile was your pile. This could have even been like twins that were like miscarried that have chosen to stick around you. But there's definitely a strong energy of like somebody that like looks like you or is like closer to your image. So this is why I think it's so family laden. Like it's somebody that could have been a twin that like looked a lot like you, or like somebody that if you were like maybe going to give birth to twins at one point, or even if it was like a sibling or a father, like maybe you take after their looks. It's somebody to me that definitely is very like representational of your image. And with the 10th house, because we have like legacy being represented, the 10th house does talk about legacy. This is again why I think it's in your family line. Like you actually might have already lived a past life in your family line. Like you maybe have already reincarnated from being like a great great grandmother or a great great grandfather, and like you're coming back in the same line. So those of you that have had like past life regressions and stuff, that might be very important and significant to your guides right now as well. But something else with the 10th house and the first house, I feel like this also represents the reason these guides like to hang out with you and they chose you is because they want to see you succeed. They want to see you succeed in terms of yourself. And they also want to see you succeed in your career. Like maybe they have unfinished business and you're somebody, not that it's your job to complete their life task, because if they've already passed on, it's not your job to fulfill things for them. Not if you don't feel called to do that, but maybe there's something that like, wow, they wish they had gotten to experience that in their lifetime. And instead of coming back and doing it for themselves, they're like vicariously living through you. Now, we have a few more cards as to like why they would have chosen you. So we have Regina, she who instigates, leadership, provocative, and power. That doesn't surprise me considering that you got the 10th house. We have she who doubts, Enid, which is fear, weariness, and trust. And then we have Blanche, she who brings light, serenity, and beacon. So for those of you that chose this pile, I feel like you maybe lack a lot of self-confidence, especially with that 8 of Swords coming out up there. And with she who doubts, I feel like you harbor a lot of self-doubt, and your guides really want to help you work on that self-doubt. They want you to initiate more self-trust. And so they give you like signs and symbols, and they come to you in interesting ways so that you will start to trust your own self more, your own intuition more. And with Blanche, light serenity beacon, she who brings lights, they stick around you because you actually have a very like you're someone that I feel like maybe you feel like you're too soft for this world, and that's something that you've really struggled with. And they stick around you because you're somebody who has allowed yourself to stay open. You're somebody that has allowed your heart to stay open in a world that is like designed to make you shut it down. And they like that. Like you have such like a beautiful, innocent, loving energy about you. You recognize that everything really does come back to love. And they like that. They want to be in that energy with you. And she who instigates, Regina, leadership, provocation, and power. They also want to help you, like, if any of you ever want to be like famous or known for something, they're here to help you rise to fame. Like, and that's obviously not going to be everybody, that's like very specific, but those of you that like you feel like it's part of your life purpose to gain fame for like being well known for something, like you have something important to do or say that you will gain recognition for. And they're here to help support that. They're here to help hold that energy when it gets difficult. Because fame, we say it all the time, but fame like does come at a price in some way. And I'm not saying this to like negate you from wanting it, but it can come at the price of your privacy. It can come at the price of your comfort. It can come at the price of your reputation, you know, with that 10th house reputation. It can come at the price of so much of what you're used to in life. So your guides have chosen you because they think that you are the person that will continue to carry that through. You will like make it to where you want to go, and they want to support you through that because it's your doubt that really stops you. And they're here to help you through unlocking your highest potential and overcoming those doubts. And it's not that you're never going to be without doubt. Everybody, I don't care who you are on the face of this planet, there is not a single person that doesn't doubt themselves somewhere. But like, they're here to help you do things in spite of that. Even though your doubts are there, they're here to help you persist beyond that. So we also have for you the card of the shark. And we have for you the deer. So with the deer, again, the deer is such a soft and gentle energy. This might have been, you might have like seen a lot of deer in recent time, or you've had deers come to you. Deers? Is that even a word? Isn't it just deer? The plural of deer, is it deers or, oh my God, I hate myself. Not really. I don't hate myself, but I do this. Like, this is such a side story, but we're going to interject. But in college, my roommates never let me live it down that I was like, is horses a word? Like, is the plural of horses horse, or is it horses? And I hate that I do this shit to myself, but I hope that gave you some kind of a laugh because I do this shit to myself. I don't hate myself, but I'm pretty sure it's just deer. It's not deers. Y'all are going to be correcting me like crazy in the comments. I can already hear it. Anyway, I hope that gave you a laugh. But I feel like you have had deer come to you at really significant times. And deer actually represents a very like, they're strong, they're keen, they're aware, extremely aware. But they also have such like a soft energy to them. And I feel like, again, with that light bringer, this is just talking about that again. And then with shark, this one's really interesting to me because shark is very like quick and quiet, but they have some sharp ass teeth and they will mess you up. And I feel like though, like, you're getting protection from that energy. Like people that really are like cutting and harmful or say mean things or like hurt you, your guides are basically saying that they're here to help you not gain like a thicker skin per se, but to like heal you from those hurts, from those wounds. They are constantly helping to heal your energy field so you don't hold on to those cutting remarks and things that people say that are just like inappropriate. Sorry, that is my Apple Watch. My husband is calling. He's going to have to wait. But that's ultimately what's going on here. So with shark, it's just that. It's that I feel like because you have such a beautiful energy about you, in this time space reality, people gravitate towards that because they want to literally drink you dry. Like the thing that I always think of when this kind of energy is going on, this exchange, it's like you are a beautiful fountain and you have so much love and light and so much like generosity and sensitivity to go around. And people see that beautiful energy and they just want to lap at your like waterfall. They just want to drink it until there's nothing left. And your guides actually help protect against that. So you actually get to keep your energy and like stand in it and feel empowered by your sensitivity. So the last three cards I have for you are all about like what your guides are helping you to unlock in this lifetime, or like basically things they want to help you learn or anything along those lines. So we have for you the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. I'm going to lay these all out and then we'll talk about them. We have Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in Subtle Realms. And then we have Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? So this to me is really about your intuition and what you feel called to do and who you feel called to be. With the Age of Light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Your guides are here to actually help you wake up. They're here to help you through any like dark night of the soul that you might experience and to wake up to your highest potential. And with Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, I actually feel like you are meant to know your guides more personally. Not everybody is here to have that experience. Like some people literally walk through life completely unconscious and don't realize that they have this divine orchestration with them. You're somebody that is actually meant to know them a little bit more personally, and they want to have that relationship with you. And they're actually saying that it's in your best interest to do like chakra healing meditation and getting your chakras balanced. If you can see like a Reiki master, you might actually be somebody that will want to become a Reiki master. That could actually help you because you're meant to have a more connected relationship with your guides. Like they want you to know who they are, which that's not always typical either. Especially if you're somebody that's like very obsessed with knowing who they are. You're somebody that is actually meant to know them on like a name basis, first name basis, because there's like more in that for you to have that kind of connection. There's a reason for it. And that's really cool. That's like not, I feel like that is like on the brink of like mediumship in a way. Like you could even be somebody that wants to like hone a mediumship skill, or you've always kind of felt like you were able to sense things that other people couldn't. And they're here to kind of help bring that gift out in you. And Imrama, where are you being called to journey? This again comes down to just trusting your own intuition. They're here to help you gain more self-trust, which this came up in pile number 1 as well. So if you felt called to listen to both, maybe you should. But this is about trusting your intuition and trusting where you're going, following what lights you up, following your own intuition to let it lead you instead of going with like the norm, everybody else. Like you're not meant to swim with the current with everybody else. You're meant to swim upstream and go at your own pace in your own way. And even if it can be difficult sometimes, they're here to help you trust yourself. Like you maybe even get like really weird synchronicities and signs, and your guides want you to know that those are from them. Like they give you those symbols and synchronicities because they're trying to get you to pay attention to your own life path. So that is what I have for you, pile number 2. I hope this helped you out. I hope you feel more connected to your, spiritual team, at least the ones that wanted to step forward today. I feel like some of them just like, as a finishing note, I'm hearing some of y'all just really want to know like how this person is doing. If this is somebody that you've lost, and they really do want you to know that like they're doing okay. Like they're having a great time, especially with the Sun card coming out. Like they want you to know that they're okay and they're happy being by your side still. So I don't know who that message was for, but I feel like some of y'all just really like were asking that question coming in. So if you weren't asking that question, don't worry about it. The message wasn't for you. But Anywho, please remember when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. Do not forget to check out my Instagram, my TikTok, my podcast, my Patreon if you want extra readings. Every week we do energy updates. We also do exclusive pick a cards that don't come to the YouTube channel. There's monthlies as well. We do like a monthly energy updates. So all kinds of goodies over there if you want to go check it out. And as always, it is never an expectation, but always appreciated. I have my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal listed down below. If you feel called to donate anything, again, it's always appreciated. I do pour it back into the channel, but it's never something that I expect. You being here and listening to this reading is absolutely more than enough. So I love you so, so much, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye, pumpkin. All right, pile number 3. If you chose the Reese figurine, if you stuck around to choose a figurine, this is your pile. Who are your guides and why did they choose you? So you got the 9 of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the 9 of Swords, and the 7 of Pentacles. So the first thing I want to point out to you is that we do have a double 9. Very different energies for sure, but they... like the number 9 to me corresponds to the astrological sign of Sagittarius. So I do feel like for some of you, you maybe have a guide that was previously a Sagittarius, like either in this lifetime or in a past lifetime. Like they could have been born around, it goes from like late November, tropical astrology, late November to, like mid to late December. So like late November to late December is like, I want to say it's like somewhere around like the 20 something of November to the 20 something of December. That's Sagittarius's time in tropical astrology. So, there might be somebody that's an ancestor that was born around that time in particular that is coming through or choosing to step forward. Now with the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Swords, I feel like, did I say 9 of Pentacles earlier? I meant to say Swords. With the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Swords, both of these energies really are very polarizing. I feel like maybe 2 of your guides kind of have that polarizing effect about them. Like one of them is really here for your like emotional and mental well-being. One of them is really here like whenever you are sad or crying in bed, or like they're here to really support you through that. You're never by yourself. I'm also hearing that some of you actually might have like one of your spirit guides is Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. Raphael helps to actually do like healing energy, and Michael is more of a protector. And I feel like both of those archangels are coming through. Now with the 9 of Cups, this to me is somebody that really supports your dreams and your desires. So there's definitely 2 strong forces coming through. And with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like one of your guides also, they could be the same or different. I'm hearing the number 3 though, so I feel like this reading in particular is about 3 different guides. So with the Wheel of Fortune, this is also a past karmic relationship. That it doesn't mean that it was romantic. Not all karmic relationships are romantic relationships, but this is a like past relationship, be it family, it could be romantic or a friendship, but it was a karmic link that is not with you in this lifetime, but in the past you helped each other work on your own personal karmas, and they have chosen to kind of stay here to watch you continue to work through it in this lifetime. And with the 7 of Pentacles, I feel like with this one, this I feel like goes hand in hand, surprisingly, with the 9 of Cups. I'm hearing whoever represents this guide that really wants to be here to help you support yourself in your hopes and dreams. They also want you to try a multitude of different things. Like they really support you learning new things, being open to new experiences, and not like shutting yourself away. And they also maybe come to you and give you signs with like animals. I'm hearing like if animals cross your path and it feels very significant, they are here bringing those signs to you with animals. Now, that doesn't mean that it's always like a live animal. It could come in like animals on TV, animals in like necklaces or charms or something of that regard. Like seeing symbols of animals is really important with this guide. They like to work with you in that way because I think it's a good way to get your attention. Like you might be somebody that also like really loves animals. And they use animals as symbols to like also with like birds too. Like they also use birds, I'm hearing. So if you're like the animal whisperer in your life, there's a reason for that. Your guide like appears to you that way a lot. I also feel that there's something about like they want you to meditate more and reach out to them, especially this one guide in particular. I'm trying to get like a beat on what they might look or feel like. I feel like this guide, I'm seeing like somebody with like very short blonde hair for some reason. Now, this doesn't mean that they identify as male or female or anything. I'm not trying to say like this is like a short male haircut or something, because obviously we know that haircut does not have a gender. But I'm getting like short blonde hair and like really like big lips. I don't know, that both of those are coming through really strongly. So if you ever like maybe you've seen this guide before, or they are somebody that has passed on. So this is the person that like really supports your dreams, your hopes and your dreams, and they want you to know about them the most. Especially with this Wheel of Fortune, I feel like also talks about them to a degree. I know we talked about a past connection, like a karmic connection as well, but the Wheel of Fortune also is about like hopes, dreams, and wishes too. So this guide like really is here for your best interests. They like want to see you succeed in this lifetime. Now let's go ahead and pull a couple of astrology cards. Oh my God, what did I just say? I can't wait to tell you about this. So I'm going to read them first because I'm a blind girl. Not literally. I just wear glasses and your girl cannot see unless the card is in front of her face. So I need to read them and then I'll lay them down. We have friendship, group creativity, community, humanity, hope, tribe, festivals, discoveries, common goals, startups, rebellion, and experimentation and the future with the 11th house. And then we also have Pisces, the mystic, imaginative, compassionate, healing, empathic, mystical, adoring, magical, allowing, dreamy, ephemeral, enigmatic, spiritual, emotional, escapist, impractical, oceanic, self-pitying, and illogical. So I feel that for some of you, especially with this 11th house, we talk about the 11th house. Like when you're going through an 11th house transit in astrology, for me, and the way I teach it, everybody kind of does it a little bit differently. But the way I teach it is the 11th house represents friendship, but it also represents your hopes and dreams. And technically your public enemies, but we're not here for that right now. We're talking about your guides. So I do feel like, again, with your hopes and dreams, this is just coming out again. And with Pisces, you yourself might be a Pisces sun, moon, rising, or there's something in this Pisces energy. Like they have a very like gentle approach with you. Pisces to me is very ethereal and dreamy, and they are a little bit more gentle. And they also tend to have a little bit more of a psychic sense to them because they rule the 12th house, which is like the life and death house. Like it's all about like what comes after and being a little more tapped into that. So I do feel like, there's this misconception, like if you have a spirit guide, like obviously they're tapped in because they might be in the spirit realm, but that's not necessarily true. But this guide in particular is. They might even have been like a psychic in a past life, or like been somebody that people went to for advice, or somebody you went to for advice in that way. I'm also hearing that this is somebody that was a past life friend too. Like they were already connected to you, and that's why they've chosen to continue to stay around you. I think all of your guides, I can comfortably say, that are coming out right now are from a past experience. Like they are all someone, all three of them are someone that you've lived a previous life with, and they're coming through because like they obviously enjoyed something about that life, or there was again some kind of a karmic link. But I mean, even with like the archangels, it's not necessarily like they might have even been your guides in a past life too, Michael and Raphael. There's just a lot of like past energy I'm getting from this reading. And I'm sorry if it's coming out kind of like clunky. I don't usually channel in this way. I'm doing it a little differently today. And I don't usually ask like such direct questions. And it's not like it's unsettling. Some of it is just coming through kind of jumbled. So apologies if it's coming out that way too. There's just a lot being given to me at the moment. Okay, so we also have for you, oh my gosh, that is so weird. Some of you, one of your spirit guides' names is actually Carly. That just like jumped out at me while I was pulling up these next three cards. One of your guides' names is actually Carly. So like you can actually try talking to them and seeing if that was like your guide. Now, obviously, not every person that comes across this reading, your guide's name is Carly, but for some of you, yes, or at least one of you, one of your guide's name is Carly. So if you got like the chills when I said that or something, that is like a strong indication. So these next three cards are basically why your guides have chosen you, or more about that. So we have She Who Frees, Carly. That's why when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's somebody's name. Liberation, Unrestrained, Freedom. We're going to lay these out and then I'll talk about them. We have Tiraz, She Who is Persistent, Now Awareness and Acceptance. And Amelie, She Who Questions, Curiosity, Destiny, and Search. So the reason that your guides have chosen you specifically is, number one, they like that you question. Now, with Sagittarius energy, like we talked about in the beginning, some of your guides might actually have major Sagittarian placements, especially if they lived previous lives on Earth. And they like that about you. They like that you also will question things. They also like that you're not necessarily willing just to accept whatever is given to you, and that you're actually here to live your life to the freest way that you can. Because I think in like past lives, you are someone that maybe you didn't always have the freedom that you desired, like be it a financial constraint, an actual physical constraint, something really kept you back from being able to be as free as you want to be in this lifetime. And they're here to like help you shed that past karma so you can live fully liberated. I'm hearing that many of you that chose this pile, you might dream of like moving to another country and having multiple citizenship, or you might dream of having like multiple assets, multiple houses, and they're actually here to help you obtain those things. They want you to live life liberated, because what happens when you do that is you inspire other people to live that way, and it liberates other people when they see other people doing it. So like it's actually helping you, like you are helping raise the vibration of the collective just by doing that and chasing that goal. So they want to see you succeed in that. Now, again, obviously that's not what everybody that picked this pile wants. There's a lot coming in. Now, again, I feel like many of them also, like all of them want to see you come to have full acceptance of your physical self. Many of you, I feel like, struggle with your body image, with your awareness of your body, and they want to help you become more conscious of your physical being. So for some of you, maybe you really struggle there. They're here to actually help heal that, because that doesn't even come from you. They're saying like that actually comes from the examples that you've had. Maybe some of you had like a mother figure or a father figure that either put your body down or didn't speak kindly of their own body, or praised a sibling for having like a better body, or there's like a lot of distrust of your own body. And they're here to actually help heal that in you so you can actually like thrive, is what I'm hearing. So we also have a couple of animal cards. So we have raccoon, and we have for you the lizard card. So we're actually going to pull the book on these ones, because I can't honestly tell you that I've ever seen either of these cards come out in a reading. I don't use these cards that often, and they're not new. I've had them for a while. I don't use them that frequently though, so I'm not as aware. Let's see what we have. So raccoon says talented, shadowy, and in hiding. So they also like that you are somebody that has a knack for something. Like there's some kind of talent that you possess, pile number 3, that your guides, maybe it's a talent that they also had in a previous life or in like their time on earth. I feel like all of your guides are earthly spirits, at least the ones that are connecting with us in this reading. They are more earth, like they have lived life on earth before. They know what it's like. And they connect with you because they enjoyed that talent. So if there's something that you do, I'm hearing some of you play an instrument, and some of you also have a really, like, you're good at something really odd, like something that like not a lot of people do. I'm hearing for some of you, this is so random, but I'm hearing like blacksmithing for some of you is coming through, and that might have been something that they also did. So they're like interested. I'm also hearing like those of you that play an instrument, like violin is coming through specifically. And is there anything else? I also saw a crystal ball. And so some of you also have the ability to divine through like you have clear seeing. You can actually see like visions and things if you continue to hone and work on that skill, especially with that Piscean energy coming out. But these are things that like maybe you do in private that not everybody knows about. And then with lizard, we're going to go ahead and pull that one up too. I feel like I actually have seen the lizard card. Okay. We have instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, and a dreamer. So again, this to me comes into that intuition, that divine inner knowing, that you are somebody that is just more keenly aware of your surroundings. And you might be somebody that needs more protection because of that. Like you would think being very keenly aware, you'd be like, oh, you don't need as much protection because you're so aware. But that energy is very contagious, and people like this came out in pile number 2 as well. Like that energy is very contagious and people want it. Something that isn't talked about a lot, I feel like, is how in modern times, we put people that are highly sensitive down for like feeling their feelings. But what we don't realize and recognize in modern society is if you were in a tribe, like back in the day, if you were in a tribe, your skill was so valued. Being highly sensitive was so valued. Like if they were out hunting or like going to get like the sus on someone, they would take a highly sensitive person with them because they're going to hear every snap of every twig of any kind of animal, any kind of person approaching them. They're going to hear all of it and be like, yo, there's somebody over there. We got to go, and that's something that I feel like maybe you don't think is a talent that you have, but it is a talent. This is another skill that you have. And your guides, they want to they like that energy. So the last 3 cards I have in this reading for you are basically what your guides are here helping you to learn, or at least the ones that stepped forward today are helping you learn. And we have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. We have leap, you go first, the universe will catch you. And star mother, how can you mother yourself? So with all of these, this This is a hard card. I'm so deeply, I don't want to say sorry because I think it's an important lesson, but my heart goes out to you if this, especially this Star Mother card, resonates with you. Many of you maybe did not have a mother figure that you felt you could go to in this life, and your guides are here to help give that mothering energy that you didn't have. And like, some of you might have great relationships with your mother, but those of you that Star Mother really resonates with you, the how can you mother yourself, they're helping you to learn how to become your own inner wise parent. And I would encourage you, if that's something you've never heard before and it resonates, check out the Holistic Psychologist. She goes by the Holistic Psychologist on Instagram. She has a book called How to Do the Work that I will recommend forever because it was a fantastic read. It's really about getting in there and doing the work and becoming your own wise inner parent, because you didn't have the parent or the parents that you needed growing up to help instill self-value, self-trust, and loving yourself and learning to celebrate yourself. And that might be the path that you're on now that needs more nurturing, and your guides are here to help support you in that. And with Leap, you go first, the universe will catch you. This is, again, you have that one guide that is really in your best interest. Like, they really want to see you succeed. I feel like this was like a best friend that maybe you had. Potentially, I feel like it was in a past life, but for some of you, it might have been a best friend that you've lost in this lifetime. They've chosen to stay around you because they want to see you succeed. Like, your success is something that they value. And with the initiation, rites of passage, crossing the threshold, this is about you, like, they're helping to give you signs and synchronicities to move into the next chapter of your life. That's what they're doing right now. And at every point, like, you know how we always say, like, when one door opens or when one door closes, another one opens, like, they are always there to help you, like, hold your hand over the threshold of new doors. When you feel afraid to take that next step, that's what they're here to help you with. So always call upon them when you're scared. When you're scared, like that Nine of Swords energy, to do something, to take a step, to take a leap, they're right there with you. And they want you to know that in this reading, because maybe you feel like you're going in at things alone, especially if you're somebody that comes from a family that, like, other siblings don't understand your trauma. You are someone that maybe you just felt things differently, and you can experience trauma in a family line that your siblings didn't. It's like, a lot of families think that, like, oh, I came out and I wasn't traumatized, so it doesn't matter. Like, you're talking crazy talk, but that's not true. Like, what one child experiences, you could be in the same situation with a sibling experiencing the same things, and one child can take it completely different based on the other support systems that are in that child's life. And I feel like for many of you, because of maybe that early onset trauma, if there was any, now please remember, I am not a licensed therapist. Do not use the things that I say in place of that. But that early on trauma that really has affected you, it has led to a lack of self-trust. And that's really what your guides want to help you do, is to start to trust yourself more. I feel like every reading, every single guide has kind of said that in different ways, but that's what a lot of this has been coming back to, is like, they are here to help us trust ourselves more. So I hope this reading helps you out, pile number 3. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm sorry if it came out kind of crazy. I feel like I'm going to need to go ground after this reading. I've taken breaks in between every single one, but it's just been a lot of energy coming up in this house. I think this is why I've put this reading off for so long. It's one that I've wanted to do, but I've put it off for a really long time. Um, but that being said, please, please, please do not forget when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, my podcast, which should be coming back in June. It's been on hiatus for a little bit, but I'm planning to make more episodes. And if you feel called to do so, I have my Cash App, Venmo, PayPal listed down below for your convenience if you would like to tip me. I do accept tips for my readings, but it is never an expectation. And I also have my Patreon if you're interested. I put readings up there that don't go up anywhere else. We do weekly energy updates, we do monthly cards and get the energy of the month. We do exclusive pick a cards that I let you help me decide what they're going to be. So, all kinds of fun stuff like that. The link is down below in the description for you if you want to check it out. And I love you so much, my pumpkins, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.